Number 4 is very controversial, but I deal with a lot of people out there in the real world, and I know what Americans are hungry for. I think Donald Trump reflects this attitude. Number 4 is we need a new kind of politician. And please pay attention that I did not say we need a new politician. We need new kinds of politicians. We keep waiting for where's our next Reagan? Is Rubio our next Reagan? Is it going to be Ted Cruz? No, this is a top-down answer to a bottom-up problem. It doesn't matter. Ronald Reagan could rise from the dead today. He'd still be looking good, by the way. He'd be looking better than Hillary, certainly. And he could get up on this podium and say exactly what he said in the 1980s, and it wouldn't have any effect. Because it's not those times anymore. Young people have been socialized from the time they're 4 or 5 years old. So we need something dramatic, and we need a new kind of politician. Now, obviously, this is my personal opinion, but if I wanted to win the votes of every American for the rest of time, I would say, here's my political party. My party has essentially one platform, and the platform that our party has is no re-election to the same office, period. What? No re-election. What do you mean? I mean, if we elect a representative, he goes to Washington, he does 2 years, he comes home. That's not politics. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Because we need to find people of a special brand. We need a new kind of politician. We need to be able to interview people and say, would you like our endorsement for the U.S. Senate? And they go, we sure would. You don't have the job. You're not who we're interested in. We need to find politicians who look at 2 years or 4 years or 6 years in Washington the way that you would look at as a 2-year jury duty that you couldn't get out of. It's your social obligation, and you can't get out of it. The people we need in Washington, not just Republicans either, we need people who say, I can't go to Washington. I can't go to Washington for 2 years. I've got a family, I've got a business to run. I can't just leave and go. Those people will change Washington because they won't be politicians. They'll be citizens who happen to be in the legislature for a period of time, and that is how this republic was meant to be. We have got to destroy this priesthood that lives in Washington and has become so elite and so centralized that they just love to tell us what to do. There are a couple of benefits to this in terms of selling the American people. First of all, we can say, you want to get money out of politics? In our party, there is no money in politics. Why? Because money is used to influence politicians for the re-election. We're not getting re-elected. Next question. We're free of corruption. We're free of influence. Our guys go back home. But the main point we can say is this. We can say, listen, we believe in this because we Republicans think that with 320 million people, we should be able to find 525 representatives, 100 senators, and 50 governors who aren't complete idiots. If we can't find that number of people in 320 million people, we don't deserve to govern ourselves. We don't deserve it. People say, well, the bureaucracy will change this. Well, the bureaucracy determines how things are done. If I was a representative and one of my bureaucrats said, well, Mr. Whittle, that's not how things are done around here. You see, here's the way Washington works. I would say, let's stop right here. I represent 450,000 people from the 2nd Congressional District in California. You don't represent anybody. I'm the voice of the people. You're a hired bureaucrat. You're not going to tell me how things work in Washington. I'm going to tell you how things work in Washington. And the first thing that's going to happen in Washington is you're fired. That's how it's done. That's how it's done when politics is not your life. When you have a home to go back to, you can make these kind of statements because you genuinely don't care. You're not in it for the jets and the golf courses and the honorable this and the... No, it's duty. You go to Washington, you come back and do your stuff. If you tell that to the American people, they're going to vote you in overwhelming numbers.